I'm traveling 3,000 miles across the country to build a $300,000 lawn care business in just 30 days. This Augusta lawn care location needs to be making $1,500 per day before I can hand it off to a general manager and go back home. I'm starting with no employees, no equipment, and no customers to prove that systems build great businesses.
Today is day 5. I'm at the grocery store finding some caffeine and cookies for Zach. But today's game plan is very simple. Like we talked about yesterday, I just don't have the time to do the door hangers and the marketing that is required to get this business off the ground. So we are going to be hiring someone, and a whole bunch of people applied from the viewers. I'm willing to hire someone to come hand these out for me. And it's gonna be for the next 3 weeks. And if you would like to do that, I'm willing to pay you. I'm gonna pay you $20 an hour. I'm also gonna pay you $20 for every single lead that you get. We also got Facebook, Indeed. We have a whole bunch of people today that we are going to interview. We're gonna do 10-minute Zoom calls, and we're gonna speed interview and see who can help us grow this business. Oh, sick. All right, so typically Command Center would do this for me, and that is do the pricing and send out the estimate for a client when they submit an estimate request form on our website. This specific customer asked for a mowing estimate, but I wanted to show you specifically kind of what they're doing on the back end to be able to get that. So I'm inside of Copilot. I've just set up this client. I'm gonna go ahead and save this property to their profile. And it's gonna ask me what I wanna do. I'm gonna measure the property. So it's gonna take me directly into the measuring tool that we have inside of Copilot, and I can see now the property from the satellite view. If you really wanted to, though, you could jump into a program like Google Earth, and this is it here, where if you wanted to kind of swivel around the property, take a look at it, for example, never a bad idea to do that, or even looking it up on like the MLS, on things like Redfin or Zillow, that's fine as well. You get some more data. But yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. I don't even really need to leave Copilot in order to be able to figure out what the square footage of this property is actually going to be. So I'm just start dropping some pins. I'm going to do area, and I'm just going to go boom, boom, boom. I'm just basically tracing the perimeter of the lawn, and you can get as accurate as you want to, or inaccurate, just based upon how fast you want to do this, but it usually takes about 15 to 20 seconds. So right now, this area is 7,442 square feet of turf. And so then this is where we go into our estimate calculator. And this is the part we're going to be automating inside of Copilot over the next couple months with price matrices. But for now, we're going to go ahead and put in 7,400 square feet. It's then going to spit out the fact that my weekly mow is $58 and my biweekly is $76. So I'm then going to be able to create my estimate based upon those numbers inside of Copilot very quickly. Well, let's go ahead and get things kicked off. For the sake of the video, maybe give me a 30-second kind of pitch in terms of why you think it'd be a good fit, and then we'll jump into some questions.
I think first off, I embody a lot of the characteristics that you're looking for because, one, I'm a leader.
Nobody can bring the passion that I bring to lawn care, the experience that I have. I've been cutting grass since I was 12 years old.
Because we do want to scale it up majorly.
Well, I started my first business at 18.
Today, I actually had an emergency come up and I had to go.
Okay, well, Mike, I'm going to have to be straight up honest with you. I'm not sure I can actually do it. I've been watching your channel for 2 years. I am going to be in Charlotte, and I just had to say hello. So I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm just going to be fully honest if you want to just go on, but I just had to say hello.
And when you did the door hangers, was it knocking on doors, or were you doing door hangers?
So I was doing really old school. I was just taking the business card, knocking on the door, and then just saying like, hey, look, I'm John. I see you have some hedges here, they're, that look like they could get some work done on them. Just kind of like that.
Do you still have the guts to do that? Because that's tough. That's a really hard thing to do.
Oh, I know it's tough. And some people are a little interesting, but yes. Yeah.
Are you basically just going to scale that up? Is that kind of your plan then, scaling up the cleaning?
Yeah. So my plan is I wanted to try to do a 3-month thing where I tried to see if I could completely book out the month. So get 140 customers in 3 months and have them all reoccurring.
Okay, Jack was great. He has a great business with car cleaning that he's doing, but he can only really give me 1 week. So he'd be kind of a last resort if we can't find anyone else to do the door hangers.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
What's up, Terrence? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
I love your background, man. Let's go. That's epic. Okay, cool. Well, for the sake of the video, maybe kick us off. Give me 30 seconds to kind of pitch why you think you'd be a good fit.
I honestly think I would be a good fit. A guy told me a long time ago, he said, when you're looking to hire somebody, you want to hire somebody that actually wants to work for you. And that's something that I think that I bring to the table. Nobody can bring the passion that I bring to lawn care, the experience that I have. I've been cutting grass since I was 12 years old. So I have that experience. I started my own lawn care service, worked for it for a long time. And it was really, really good. I did really, really good. And I love lawn care. Any client that I've ever had, the detail that I put into my work and everything that I do, the pride behind it is something that I bring to any company that I ever work for.
Dude, I think it's crazy. Not crazy, but it's amazing that someone literally within 24 hours is willing to move their family 6 hours from here and like start everything new. So like, I gotta take this seriously because this is a real position and everyone's like, oh, this is all for show. Let's be very clear. My regional manager that you all been watching videos about, Chuck, he also did the exact same thing on a Zoom call with me, moved his family across the country from Ohio, and now is the regional manager for 4 or 5 locations up on the north side of Charlotte. So this is not for show. This is an actual real position that's getting handed out here.
So it's like I have the drive, I have the, definitely the self-determination, but more importantly, that confidence comes from being just moldable, teachable, and just understanding, like I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I got kids, I got a wife. Like I understand this is important and I want to be a part of elevating a brand and elevating something that ultimately I can pass down to my kids because I have my own personal goals. I personally want to do the best that I can. And, I just feel like, when you do the best that you can, you can look back on the end of your day or the end of your life and just say, well, hey, I gave it all that I had. And I truly search my character and know that I gave it all that I had.
And if I go away, they're not going to be able to do that. And it's not going to send the right message to my family or anybody working with me. It's not going to be good for my work. So I'm actually going to do the opposite. And
his current business needs him there in person. He does cleaning and everything. So very admirable that he'd be self-aware enough to do that and not try to do both and then fail at both. So sometimes when the business is young, the first year, 2, even 3 years, you gotta be there basically 24/7. And so shout out to Caleb for working hard. All right, so we got everyone interviewed for the day. It was the top 8 candidates. Every single one showed up on time and for their interview. Kudos to everyone that applied. We narrowed it down to the top 8, and that's who I interviewed today. I care much more about the questions an applicant asked me than the questions I asked them, 100%. And that's honestly why that last interview with Nathan, I spent extra time on because he had great questions.
Well, in the case that I would get the general manager position, what would that process look like after I've completed the 3 weeks?
Yeah, so basically it'd probably kind of merge itself into it. So we'd probably start with door hangers, but as soon as we start getting busy, you'd probably get in the field. We'd kind of go through that. And then probably the goal would be is that July you are taking more of a management role. And then you actually would come out to training mid-July to Washington State. We would fly you out, obviously, and take care of everything. And then you'd be trained as a general manager. And that training is exactly the same as an owner gets when it comes to Augusta Nation. So franchisees would be sitting right with you. Like it's all the same training that you'd get as a GM.
Now, a decision must be had. So the question is, who's going to make the decision on the general manager position? Because originally, I thought I was going to hire Wade. But even at $25 an hour starting pay to just mow grass, still, I get ghosted. After multiple texts, multiple Zoom calls, and sending all the information over DocuSign for him to sign the dotted line and be on payroll. No. That's why everyone's like, oh, you gotta pay people more. Even higher paying positions are gonna have that happen. I don't know why he dropped out. Maybe he saw the videos and was scared. I don't know. All I know is I gotta find a general manager. And right now, AI might be the one that makes that call. All right, so right here we got this is the score, the overall score, then we have an engagement score. This is really the main ones. So based upon what AI thinks, I should be hiring Caleb. However, Caleb was not a applicant. He was a fan. No, he was the one that had a business, but he couldn't get out of his business because there's too many things going on. So Caleb is a no bueno. Next up, so he was a 93. That was his score. The next score is a 91, and that is Jonathan. And Jonathan, I'm gonna hire Jonathan.
Some of the other applicants are looking more for the GM position, whereas in your case, I think it's more of like an intense kind of 3 weeks of just like jumping right back into sales and learning, and then taking that back and applying that with your brother. I think that's probably the value for you more than just, even the possibility of GM position, because obviously you want to do your own thing.
Exactly.
So AI and me are aligned on Jonathan hiring. He's the next one in terms of 93, 91. The next one is a tie. It's a three-way tie. It is a three-way tie between, here we go. So there's all 8 people, okay. So there's a three-way tie. It's between Terrence, Jack Bradley, and Nathan. So this is a three-way tie. Now, the question is, which one from an engagement perspective is the highest? Well, from an engagement perspective, we got Nathan at 96.
I'm excited to bring my positive attitude and energy to the team. That being said, when can I get started?
We got Terrence at 95.
Total clients at the peak was
Yeah.
120. 120 was our peak.
And we have Jack at 92.
I generally have a lot of business sense, so I think doing this job for you wouldn't be a big problem for me.
So, based upon this, that would put Nathan slightly higher than Terrence in terms of overall score, because if you add it up together, that's 185 versus 186 for Nathan. However, Terrence has the experience of running a business and having employees and managing people. Hey Chuck, no rush on this. Just sending you over the Zoom. I think he could be a good candidate. I'm not gonna make the decision final though until you've seen it and kind of at least given your feedback. Just because obviously he'll be your direct report.
So here's my thoughts. The biggest strengths that I am seeing in general managers across the board for all of our locations is time management and being a self-starter.